Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Sunday, August 14th, 2016, when I'm recording this show, and I have a very special show for you today. Today I did an interview with one of my favorite artists in the entire world. Her name is Brijitte West. She used to front a band out of New York called the New York Loose. They put out one album for Hollywood Records back in 1996, and it's, in my opinion, one of the best albums that came out of the 90s. Such a great album. Every song was great. I've had her on the show a couple of times, and she's always been very forthcoming and very honest, and I love this woman, and I think she's a major talent. She's got a brand new album coming out in September called From New York with Love, and today she comes on the show, and we do a track-by-track of that new album, and it's one of my, I told her this, is one of my favorite albums, if not my favorite album so far of 2016. So I'm going to shut up right now. I'm going to get right to this interview with Brijitte West. It goes, I think, about an hour and 15 minutes. And she's very forthcoming, and I think it's a fun interview. So I hope you like it. Thank you to everybody who donated to the show. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com is my email address. And everybody who donates, thank you so much, friends. Your donations keep the show alive. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. In addition to my email address, you can also go to my website, rockandrollgeek.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Everything else, you know how to reach me. All right. Here is the great Brijitte West. Hi, Brijitte West. Thanks for coming on the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
It's a pleasure. Hello, Michael Butler.
You've been on twice before. The first time you came on, I just worshipped you, and we talked about New York Loose. Second time, I think we did a track-by-track of the Year of the Rat album, right?
Yes.
Today, we're going to do a track-by-track of your new album, and I'm nervous. I'll have to warn you, I'm a little bit nervous, because I'm probably the biggest Brijitte West fan in the world.
Wow. That's a big claim.
Yeah.
I think you probably are, actually. I think that's probably true.
So forgive me for being nervous, and please forgive me for saying anything stupid, because I'm sure there will be a lot of stupid things said. So
that's okay. I'll probably say some stupid things, too.
Good. Is this album called With Love from New York with Love, or In the Blood? What's it called?
No, it's called From New York with Love.
Okay. Because there was some album art on the Pledge music that was different. So that's not happening anymore?
No. So what happens, I know that's really, really confusing for people. So if I could just clarify. What happened is we used something from a book called Grey's Anatomy, and I know that we would have gotten a cease and desist if it went out, and I just thought, you know what, we just need to change this cover anyway, because I wasn't really happy with it. So we basically just changed the whole cover and changed the title. It's the same record.
All right, good. Well, I have to say this record, as each song progresses, I think the record gets better and better. And I think this album is, well, I want people to know about you so they can get a better grasp on how great this record is, because I think that people have to know a little bit about the history of Brijitte West, and I don't want to go all the way back like we did before, but they have to know something about you. So because I have a feeling I'm probably wrong. I hope I'm not, but I have a feeling this record is kind of a little bit of a concept album, in my opinion. And for people to get the concept, I think they need to know a little bit about you. So you were from New York, and now you're living in the countryside of England, right?
Yes. I live about an hour away from London, but it's a world away, because I live in an area where I don't even have I don't have mains sort of drainage, or I have like an oil tank and I have a gas tank.
Oh, you're off the
up
grid.
to my house.
You're off the grid almost.
Well, I live in an area called the South Downs National Park. So I
Oh,
live in a
beautiful.
beautiful area. It's not quite off the grid. I mean, it's people that live here actually work in London, so they commute into London, but it's a very different, it's an hour away from London, but it's a world away from
Yeah,
London. So
yeah.
yeah, and I'm very, very happy here.
You're out in the country, and that's where I want to be, is out in the country. So
It's yeah, it's weird how I think as more and more people I know that have kind of come from where I've come from and done, we're sort of seeking this sort of natural world more and more, and
Yeah.
I've done that, and I'm really happy about it. So
So you're originally from New York. You grew up in
yeah,
the punk rock days. You were in the punk rock scene, and you formed
yes.
a band called New York Loose that got signed to a major label, got dropped by a major label. You kind of hung it up, I guess you can say, and then you moved to the UK. Did you move to London, or did you move out to the country immediately?
No, I lived in London for about 13 years, 14 years. Yeah, I lived in London for 14 years.
Why
Yeah.
did you move from New York, did you move directly from New York to London, or did you move down to somewhere else in the country, in the United States?
I moved from Los Angeles
Oh,
to London.
did you move to Los Angeles because of New York Loose?
No, I was there because I have sort of I'm a writer, so I'm through like my publishing. I write with different people and things like that. So I was there writing basically.
Okay, and so what
Yeah.
made you move to London?
When?
No, what made you want to move to London?
Oh, because I was signed to Sony Music Publishing,
Oh, you still
and
were.
they had a whole bunch of writers in London that they wanted me to write with, and so I moved to London, and I just basically stayed because I really liked it.
So were you signed to Sony Music Publishing during New York Loose?
Um, no, I signed to them after.
And did you write for anybody that I might know?
No,
No
not
songs?
really. Not really. No, no,
Are you still on Sony Music Publishing's payroll?
no. I don't. I own all my own publishing now, which is brilliant.
So did they say we don't need you to write for us anymore, or what happened?
Um, well, I think we should probably. That's probably like a whole other interview, to be honest, because that's a whole other story.
Okay, all right. So anyway, all right. So you wrote for Sony Music, which I'm now intrigued by. So then you moved to London. You wrote for you were still working for Sony Music in London, or you stopped?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
You were. All right. Then you stopped, and you met somebody that you fell in love with. Is that how it worked out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How? So you met your husband that you're still married to now.
Yes, I am. Mhm.
How did you meet him?
Um, it's a very little known fact, but I also really love baseball.
Oh, me too. Who's your favorite? I assume you're a Mets fan.
Mets, yeah.
Okay,
And
I'm a Giants
the
fan, so go Giants.
Okay, so the thing is that there is no such thing as baseball in the UK.
Right.
And what happened was there, and when I say there's no such thing, I mean it's not on television. You can't really be a baseball fan here. But there was a softball game going on. And I was like, I've got to go. I've got to go play softball. So I found out about this softball game, and I went along to go play softball. And it was raining, of course. And so we ended up in a pub, and that's when I met my husband.
He just happened to be there with his buddies.
Yeah, no, he was going to be on the team. I was going to be
Oh.
on the team with him.
Oh,
I kind of went along with a friend of mine who was all on the team, and he was going to be on the team too.
So kind of fate brought you guys together.
Yeah.
And you fell in love, and I assume he's got a little bit of money, right?
Why do you assume that?
Because you live in a mansion in the countryside.
I don't live in a mansion. I don't live in a mansion. I do not live in a mansion.
So
in
he's
the
broke.
countryside.
So you met some broke guy in the pub.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Do you know what? When I first met him, I had a bigger flat than he did.
Huh,
Okay.
Okay.
And he is one of these guys that is so driven and so hardworking that he went from really nothing to making something of himself, which I'm really happy about. I mean, he works so hard and nothing was handed to him. So he's not a rich guy that,
So the two of you, there's a reason I'm asking about this, because it kind of, it helps you build up to this record. But did you guys?
Okay, because I'm hoping the listeners aren't bored with this story.
They won't
here.
be bored.
Okay.
They won't be bored. They love me because I'm an idiot, and so it'd be fun. So
Okay.
So you guys built your empire together.
I think we did because, I supported him. I have a mind for business, and not very many people know that. I'm not very good at it with my own stuff, as you can tell, because I'm not really a commercial success. Right. And I am truly live my life as an artist. Yeah. But we work well together. So I've helped. I think I have helped him, guide him through different basic, big decisions and things like that.
So what is the business?
So at the moment, he's kind of like a strategy guy that does a lot of stuff with digital marketing. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
He works for someone at the moment. He just takes a salary. It's not like he has a big empire. But he also is involved with different startups and things like that. He's very clever.
So bottom line is, you met somebody almost polar opposites of you, right?
He is completely opposite of me.
Right,
I mean, yeah.
And people say opposites attract, but in reality, they probably really don't. It takes a lot of work for people who are completely opposite to. There's love at the root of it, but it takes a lot of work to keep that kind of relationship going for, what's it been, 15, 20 years now? No, it's probably been 10 years.
13 years.
13 years. So it takes a lot.
Wait, hang on.
Go ahead.
But this is the big, kind of like bombshell. Are you ready?
Okay.
In 2008, we got divorced.
Huh. Okay, but
okay.
Okay. I did not know that, but okay.
Okay. While we were divorced, I made the first Brijitte West and the Desperate Hopefuls record in 2010.
Okay.
Okay. And then we got back together again. So we were apart for about 3 or 4 years.
What made you get back together? First of all, why did you get divorced because you were such opposites?
Yeah.
And why?
Listen, this is a whole...
It's okay.
Oh no, I can't believe I'm talking to you. This is a whole other interview. I mean,
no, it's not, because this is to me
complicated, and so am I.
This is the root of this album, in my opinion. That's why I want to talk about this.
Yeah, there's a lot there. So I actually was with someone else during that time, and it was like a full-blown relationship. And then that ended, and we ended up getting back together again. So we're sort of like a miracle couple where, we got divorced and then got back together again. It's like really crazy.
You both tried something else and you realized that, it was better the way I had it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's quite...
But
okay.
I also did a lot of sort of work on myself, okay? I even did a degree in psychotherapy so I could really understand what's going on with people's behavior and emotions and how that works and how that impacts other people. I've done a lot of work on myself. And he actually, although didn't do as much, he at least was open to changing and open to understanding that he needed to change. And that was the catalyst. When I realized actually he's not gonna, there is a possibility that I don't have to live in the relationship the way I have been, but that we can change it and make it better. I went, okay, maybe we can try this again.
Wow. So I just found out, I think everybody just found out a lot. That gets to the root of this album. So what did you find out about yourself that you needed to change?
Well, gosh, okay. My background is I came from a very, very rock bottom childhood. I had a rock bottom childhood, Michael.
Divorced parents and...
No, my parents were together.
What was rock bottom? You were poor or?
No, I wasn't poor.
Molested or something?
Guess again.
Molested?
Well, I wouldn't say molested, but I was definitely physically abused, and it was a very, I was neglected as
So
well.
one of
I mean,
your
I come from a family of 12 children.
One
It
of
was
your parents-
absolutely chaotic.
One of your parents beat you a lot?
Well, I don't know. It's not exact. It's a little bit more complex than that.
All right, that's not. Well, it is important. But it's not kind of.
Sorry?
It's kind of not relevant to this interview. But okay. So you came from from a rough childhood.
Rough, yeah.
So you found out. So you worked through all that stuff when you found out when you went through physical therapy or psychotherapy and all that.
I already knew that, and I think a lot of my stuff in New York Blues reflects a lot of that, and sort of the kind of music that I chose to do reflected that, and what I chose to do with my life reflected that. I mean, I was an obvious attention seeker, and yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think it was sort of. Yeah, I mean, you know what? It is one of those sort of things that it takes a long time to explain what I found out about myself. But I think what is important is that I understood what self-awareness was all about and how to be aware of myself.
Okay.
And who I was. So, and that was really helpful.
To recap for the people who lost interest in me or whatever. Brijitte West came from a rough New York punk rock, rough childhood upbringing, formed a great rock and roll band with fantastic tunes, with shitloads of attitude, moved to England, got married, they got rich, got divorced, then she made an album that was pretty much
I didn't get rich. Okay, yeah.
You built a family, or did you guys have kids before you got divorced?
Yes.
Okay,
they were 3 and 4. 2 and 4 when we got divorced. Yeah.
Right. Built a family, got divorced, recorded what I consider to be a balls out punk rock album.
Yeah.
First Brijitte West album. Single mom, or did he have the kids, or did you have joint custody? Joint custody. Built a balls out punk rock record. Reconnected with the husband who she had built everything up and started a family with. Realized that having a family is probably kind of important, especially since I have 2 kids who probably need a father in their life and need 2 parents. And then here we are. You decide. So that was in 2008. The first Brijitte West album came out. The Desperate Hope.
2010.
2010. So 6 years later, you decided, man, I need to make another record.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about this record called From New York with Love. And I think this record, correct me if I'm wrong, for the most part, there's a couple of songs that kind of don't fit with the concept. But for the most part, this record to me is a concept record. I would consider it kind of, I'm probably going to be wrong in everything that I'm guessing. But to me, after listening to this record, I think it's kind of a love letter to your husband and your family. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, a lot of it is.
All right. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a love story about getting older and keeping a family together and the whole deal that comes with it. And you put that in at least, there's 11 songs. You put that into at least 8 of these songs.
Michael, this is why I'm your biggest fan.
There you go.
Because there's not a lot of people that can listen to an album and distill that story the way you have just done. And I'm so honored that you actually take the time and really try to get it. It's awesome. Yeah, but you're right.
You hear that, listeners?
No, Michael's the most awesome music fan. I mean, really, you are. There's not that many people like you out there. I mean, you're just an absolute one of a kind.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So let's talk about the record.
All right.
So when you started writing, how long ago did you start writing the record? I'm assuming you pick up the guitar occasionally, or did you actually say, I'm going to sit down and write a new record?
I said, I'm going to sit down and write a new record.
Did you have to bring this to your family, to your husband and your 2 kids? You have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
So a boy and a girl?
I have a boy and a girl.
Perfect family. You had to bring.
I have the perfect family.
You had to bring this to your perfect family. Did you sit down over dinner and say, "Listen, I want to write a new record"?
Yes, I did. I said at the dinner table one night, I said, guys, I'm going to do another record and I'm going to need some space and I'm going to need I'm going to be like a working mother. So, you know, I'm going to need time to do this. And one of the problems that I had in the first incarnation of my marriage was I didn't get a lot of support from my music, okay?
He thought you were wasting your time playing that crap. Or not crap, but just something that's not going to bring in the
Ish. Yeah, sort of. And also, he didn't understand it. I mean, he comes from an extremely different background
He didn't
than I do,
understand the
in
music?
every way.
Didn't understand the music or didn't understand that you wanted to play music?
Well, he doesn't understand the mindset of an artist, and he was a little bit threatened by the whole rock and roll. I mean, you got to admit, I mean, you know, the kind of stuff.
It's not for everybody. It's not for
everybody.
It's not for kids.
Yeah.
It separates the men from the boys, so to speak, or the women from the girls. Whatever. It separates the tough. You got to be a different breed to be a rock and roller. You really do.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, he knew one side of me because he never knew me in New York Loose. Okay. So he met me as sort of like, you know, a writer that was like just writing. And I was also working with horses and doing all kinds of, you know, different things, you know. So when he met me, he didn't really understand the whole Brijitte West thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's probably why a lot of what happened, why you guys got divorced.
Yes. That's right, because when I wanted to do, if you can remember, I did a compilation called "Born to Loose," which was a whole and then all like sort of unreleased New York Loose stuff, and then it sort of like started kind of snowballing, and then I put together the Desperate Hopefuls, and you know it was just he couldn't really deal with it.
By the way, on a side note, that "Born to Loose" is super rare, and I don't have it. Would you?
You don't have it?
No.
Okay, well, if I have an extra copy,
I just need
if
you can just rip it to MP3, and that would be fine.
Okay, I think you can get it on Spotify.
Okay, yeah,
I'm pretty sure, but I will do that. I'm writing it myself a note.
So that is. I forgot where we were going with this. Anyway, so all right. So you sat down with the family. You told them, and what was their reaction? Was it okay, or oh God, here she goes again? Here come the problems coming back, or
yeah, it was a bit of both. Yeah.
So you had no songs written.
No, hang on, wait, no, I'm lying. I think I had. I may have had "Lie to Me" written. I think I wrote "Lie to Me." Yeah, I wrote "Lie to Me."
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you have? So you had to set out. So I'm guessing the time was when he was at work and when the kids were at school. So you would be writing the record.
Yep.
And you demoed it on GarageBand or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long did you have to put a band together, or did you write the songs first?
So I wrote the songs and then I put the band together, and then my band had a couple of bits that they could add and the music to some things. And we actually got together and wrote a couple things where they gave me some stuff they'd been working on and we put it together. But yeah.
What made you decide that it was time to make a new record? Because it's in your blood.
Yeah, I think so. I also felt like, you know, if I don't make another record, people are going to forget about me. And I don't want people to forget about me. I feel like I have still something to contribute. And actually, on a more sort of deeper level, it was about getting older and feeling like, what is it about women when they get older? It's like all of a sudden you lose your equity, like you use your value, or you lose your do you know what I mean?
You're a housewife.
What?
You're a housewife and a homemaker, and it's your job to keep the home together.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I also do other things.
No,
so
I'm saying that's why. That's how women kind of lose their whatever you said.
Identity.
Yes, I guess.
Right? And I just went, you know what? I can choose to kind of go into the next sort of period of my life in this very sort of very happy and satisfied mode.
You can do both.
But not make another record, and then I will sort of just fade into the sort of distant somewhere, or I can actually make another record.
And
yeah.
In order for you to be happy, you need to continue. In order for you to be truly happy, you need to continue to make music.
Yes.
Because it's who you are.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a really big difference between making music and working with people that you depend on, that let you down, or it's making a record is not an easy thing to do. Let's just put it that way. It's extremely difficult when you are doing it on a shoestring, when you're doing it without the support of a label.
Yeah, with no budget.
With no budget.
So you had heard about Pledge Music because Ginger Wildheart kind of put Pledge Music on the map, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
And in a lot of bands, especially in the UK, are doing records through Pledge.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, why don't I try it this way?
Yeah.
Now, how did it take a long time for you to talk your family into being okay with it? Or you said, listen, I'm doing this, regardless whether you guys like it or not?
It wasn't like I asked permission. I just said, I'm going to be doing this, and I need you guys to give me the space for it. And actually, they were really supportive.
Well, good.
Especially my kids. I mean, they just, they were so supportive. And my husband's been very supportive as well. So I've definitely had that. Without that, I couldn't have done it.
Has he listened to the record?
I don't know if he's actually listened to the whole thing from start to finish.
What is he? Of the stuff he's heard, has he really listened to the lyrics, or has he just, heard the songs and said they were okay, or they were great, or they were bad?
Yeah, no, he really likes this one. He thinks this is the best thing I've ever done, and my husband. It's really funny, but he's actually deaf in one ear, so he can't hear lyrics.
Okay. Oh, so he didn't really listen to the lyrics?
He doesn't listen. He can't hear the lyrics.
Oh,
he's just like, what? But anyway, yeah.
Lucky for you, he can't hear the lyrics. That's my opinion.
Do you know what? What? I know.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right. So let's go through. You ready to do a track by track of the new record called From New York with Love?
Yeah.
All right. There are 11 songs on this record. Go through the musicians who played on the record first.
Keith Gibbs, Richie Hudson, and Robin Guy.
Any guest musicians? I thought Rich Jones.
Oh yeah, Rich Jones plays on it, and also this guy called Rich Rags.
Okay, I know Rich Jones well from when I was back in the rock days. I was in a band that played a lot of gigs with them. He was in the Black Halos, and now he's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And now he puts together the Ginger birthday things, which I played at.
And he's also playing with Michael Monroe.
That's right. And it's the best version of Michael Monroe's solo band that has been out there yet, with Rich Jones.
They are totally smoking. And with Steve Conti as well.
Steve Conti's a fantastic talent, great guitar player. His solo album is one of my favorite albums that I have in my collection.
Oh my God, me too. I love that record.
It is fantastic. So you know those guys. You know Steve Conti and all them. And I think you played at Ginger's last birthday party, right?
Yes, I did.
I played at one, I think it was probably 4 years ago. Anyway.
What, in the UK?
Yes, I flew out.
Oh, wow.
Actually, listeners of the show took a collection and sent me out there because Rich asked me if I wanted to play at it. I was on this thing, if I'm going to brag about me for a second, the Haiti Project. Were you on that Haiti Project thing?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we recorded, Ginger and me and this guy Billy Morrison and another guy Scott Lips recorded a song, and that was on that. So right after that came out was when he did his birthday party, and so I went out and played with him then. But forget that. Let's get back to the record. All right.
Okay.
So that's who's on the record. And
yeah, Rich Jones is, I think, I have to say, if Rich Jones is listening to this,
he won't be, but he might.
Well, I may actually ask him to, because I have to say, without Rich Jones, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So basically, Rich Jones contacted me through MySpace, back when MySpace was big, like in 2006 or 2007.
Because Rich Jones is probably a huge New York Blues fan as well.
Huge. He was a huge fan. And he was like, what are you doing? I heard you live in the UK. And I'm like, who's Rich Jones? And then I was like, oh my God, you were in the Black Halos? I was like, oh yeah. Anyway, so he helped me put together Born to Loose. He also helped me put together the first, the Desperate Hopefuls as well. He kind of helped me get it all together.
Did he play on that record too?
No, but we played some live gigs together. I played some live stuff with him.
Okay.
Some gigs here. And I have to say that he really is responsible for sort of pulling me out of the kind of the quagmire of, housewife dumb.
Well, there you go. And, thank you, Rich Jones, if you're listening. And hello, Michael Butler says hello, Rich Jones. All right. And so does Brijitte.
Yeah.
All right. So that's who played on the record. Like I said, there are 11 songs on the record. The first song, where did you record it first?
At a place called the Brook in Wallington, which is near Croydon in London.
All right. So you had to meet your goal on Pledge Music, or else you get nothing. If you don't meet the goal, you don't get any money.
That's right.
What was I ask everybody who does a Pledge Music, what was the goal? And nobody tells me. So go ahead, don't tell me.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
There you go. Because you don't want if you can't set the goal too high because you get nothing, but you can't set it too low because then you won't be able to make the record.
That's right. It's really tricky setting the goal. So in fact, I actually had to lower it because nobody was pledging, and I was getting really worried. And I went, oh no. So yeah.
All right. So you only set a goal of about $250,000, and you met the goal. I'm just kidding.
Oh shit. Yeah, right.
Right.
I mean, I don't even think that I broke even because. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, you know what? Yeah. It really doesn't matter.
You met the goal, though. That's what's good about it.
I paid for the recording, and I think I paid for the manufacturing and a couple of T-shirts, and great. I made another record.
All right. So everybody, if you like this record, which I don't know how, if you're a fan of good music, I don't know how you will not like it. If you like this record, first off, go out and buy it. Go to the Pledge Music link, which will be on rockandrollgeek.com.
Yeah.
Or go to Bridgette's website or Bridgette's Facebook or whatever. Pledge it. Then send her an email and say, hey, I heard you on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Thank you for coming on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. So she knows that this wasn't a complete waste of time. All right. All that's out of the way. You ready to do a track by track of this record?
Yes.
First song is called Typical Drunken Loser. And I read a lot of, all the interviews and everything. You said it's about a former bandmate. Can I guess who the bandmate is? Or have you told anybody who the bandmate is?
I haven't told anyone, and I will never say, but you can certainly guess.
I'm going to guess it's Danny Nordahl from New York Loose.
I say nothing.
All right. Well, that's who it's about. The guy from New York, about the bass player from New York Loose. It's my guess because I know that guy. I'm not saying he's a typical drunken loser, but he seems like the guy. Well, first of all, in the second verse, you name check him. Why in the disguise of name checking the Ramones, you name check him.
Yes, you got that. Oh, you are cool. You are super cool.
All right, so she just admitted it's about Danny from New York Loose. Got it. All right.
No, it's Danny Says We Gotta Go.
I know, exactly. All right.
It's Danny Says.
So Danny, you're not listening to this, but you should be proud. She wrote a song about you.
I know. Well, the thing is, I love Danny Nordahl so much, and we
care about him, and you want him.
You care, and I miss him to this day. And it's a little bit of a homage to.
So why?
How I wish that he stayed with me. How I wish that we were working together still.
Why?
And how I wish that you got better.
Why write about him now? Did you cross paths?
Okay, so when I thought about writing the song, I actually was getting a little bit. It wasn't originally, the idea of the song wasn't originally about Danny, okay? It was about other people around me. And I just saw them, and I just think,
reminded you of him.
It reminded me of him. And I just thought, my God, if you keep going the way you're going, where you're just not really thinking about your future and not really investing in relationships, and, you're just going to become like some bloated guy in their like 50, mid-50s.
Like Tammy Down.
With nothing. Yeah, exactly. With nothing. No, Tammy Down has a lot because at least he has a name and he can tour and he can still... But I'm talking about guys that don't even have that are still like just kicking around, just thinking they're cool and drinking like crazy. And 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 anyway, and then it ended up being about Danny.
The reason I said "Tame Me Down" because last I heard, Danny was playing bass for Faster Pussycat.
That's right. That's right. And I don't know if you've ever seen a YouTube clip. A very famous YouTube clip.
Oh yes, I've seen it. He fell and hit his head on the drums. And
yeah.
And
everybody. Okay, so if you don't know Danny, you laugh at that. If you know Danny, you cry. And I was one of the people that were crying.
I've done gigs with those guys and we've been on the same bill as those guys, and it's fun time. Anyway, I was at a place in L.A. and I ran into him and I said, "Man, that New York Loose album is one of my favorite albums." And he said, "Fuck you," and he walked away.
Are you joking?
No.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he was drunk. Who knows? I was paying him a compliment, but...
I know. Yeah, it's all weird. It's all like a weird thing. I don't know. Anyway.
So the song... All right. So the song is... So the song is not about Danny from New York Loose.
No, it's not. No.
Have you ever heard... This song could fit... This is the only song besides the cover to me that doesn't really fit in the concept of this album. It's more like I also have a feeling that this is going to be most of the New York Loose and Brijitte West and the Desperate Hopefuls fans, or Brijitte West fans. This is probably going to be their favorite song on the record.
Well, you know what? It's really funny, and you have very, very good ears and very, very good instincts. This was the last song I wrote because I felt like, oh my God, I really just better write a song that is that thing, that thing that I do in New York Loose and from the last record. Because if I don't, I'm just not sure that it's going to be a little bit too over to one side. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like I needed a song like this. I just wanted to do a 3-minute cool punk rock and roll song on the record, just at least to get it a little bit more balanced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good song. It would actually fit on I don't know if you know, it would fit on the soundtrack of the Josie and the Pussycats movie. You ever hear, which is actually a compliment because that's actually got some really catchy tunes on it. It's pop punk.
Yeah.
Pop. You've heard that album?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have kids. You probably
No, but I'm gonna now.
Okay, but it's my least favorite song on this album, which doesn't mean the song is bad. It's just my least favorite song on the album. All right, now
I'm very happy to hear that, actually.
Enough talking about it. Here's a little bit of typical drunken loser. Here you go. You can hear this, okay, right? Can you hear it?
His mom and dad were so proud. He played guitar, he played it loud. They said goodbye when he went on tour. They bought the record at the local record store. Leather jacket and ripped up jeans, duct tape shoes and all the magazines. He dreamed of a mansion and a model wife. He bought the ticket to the rock and roll ride. He bought the ticket to the rock and roll ride. And Danny says, we gotta go. We had a blast in Idaho. I never really had your trust. You were always late for the bus. Leather jacket and ripped up jeans. We were living the dream. We can't go surfing anymore. Spent all your pennies at the liquor store. Spent all your pennies at the liquor store. You made the wrong enemies, wrong friends. You burned all your bridges and you burned them again. Everybody says it's oh so sad. He's just a typical drunken loser in a band.
All right, there you go. Typical drunken loser. Best line is you burnt all your bridges and then you burn them again. That's my favorite line of the tune.
Thanks.
And the reference to the Ramones is not name-checking the person the song is about, just for the record.
No, it's just Danny Says, which is one of my favorite Ramones songs. I mean, that song is so awesome because you've been on tour. You know what it's like. That song is such the reality of being on tour.
Again, it is not about Danny from New York Loose. Right.
No.
All right, the next song is called Permanent Ink, and now you're getting more into the concept of the album somewhat, because it takes a completely different songwriting style, in my opinion. That being said, this is my second to the least favorite song on the album. So like I said, the album gets better as it progresses. What is this song? Anything to say about this song? You released a video for this song.
Yeah.
So it's about Permanent Ink. It's like it's I'm like Permanent Ink. I'll stick around, right? That's pretty literal.
Yeah. It's kind of about like it really is. It's sort of like, once you, there, it's well, actually, sorry, I'm kind of getting tongue-tied. I'm a little bit offended by that. It's your second lead. I'm only joking.
It was my second lead. Well, no, that's because every song is better than this one. So this is a good song. This is a good song, but all the rest are even better. That's what I should have said.
Why don't we talk about the ones you like?
I like all of them. That's the thing.
Okay.
I even like Typical Drunken Loser.
Oh, okay.
Is this song about anybody in particular?
Yeah, this one's about an old boyfriend.
An old boyfriend. Okay. First of all, I want to tell you, I don't want to offend you. This is the best thing you've ever done. This album is the best, hands down. There's no compare, even better than Sandusky, which I happen to fucking love that Sandusky record. This blows that away, and this blows Year of the Rat away. All right, so
wow,
let that be said. All right, so that's saying a lot. It probably will be my favorite album of 2016. What do you think of that?
I'm loving that.
And I have some favorite albums. I don't know if you've ever heard that new Paul Westerberg album called. Forget. I'm veering off. Forget. Okay. What's Permanent Ink about? It's about an ex-boyfriend. All right. Little bit of Permanent Ink. Permanent Ink. All right, Mike. Probably the most complex arrangement of all the songs, right? Which may be why you were offended. Can you hear me, Brijitte? Right?
Yeah.
My eyes out and floated out to sea. Your absence made me stronger. On unlikely remedy. Well, look what might have been. I'm still under your skin, and now you've had years to think. Yeah, you found out I'm not permanent ink. Yeah, you found out I'm not permanent ink.
Actually, it is a really good song, and I'm guessing this is probably your favorite. This is
It's a good song. I wrote that song with Richie Hudson, who is in my band. He's a bass player, but he's a brilliant guitar player. I wanted to write a song that I could sing in it was a soulful melody. I really wanted to completely do something that was sort of attitude rock. And I wanted to bring my voice into another place and the listener and into another place of my personality, of my, another side to my art. Yeah.
Is this your favorite song on the record?
I love this song. And, also I like the idea. It's basically an analogy between, it's sort of about being tattooed on someone's soul, that type of thing, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm when I'm talking about permanent ink, I'm talking about I've actually been tattooed on you, yeah, and so
it really is a great tune. It's just not my favorite. I like it a lot. It's not because I have so much more favorites on the album that
I can't wait to hear what your favorites are. I really can.
You'll probably be surprised what my favorite one is.
Okay, surprise me.
It doesn't matter. All right, next song is called "Lie to Me," and you sent me this. Before, I think probably, I don't know, maybe at the same time you sent it to a couple other people, but when I first heard it, I started smiling immediately. And you told me, when you sent me this, you remember what you told me?
Yeah.
What did you tell me?
I said, Michael, you've always said that you heard a bit of country in what I do, like Broken and stuff from the New York Loose record, and I have and not to be afraid to just kind of do that, or I should actually do a whole country record. And you thought that would be really cool if I did. And so when I wrote Lie to Me, I had that in the back of my head going, don't be afraid, Brijitte, to just do what you feel as an artist. Don't be afraid that the fans aren't going to like it, because you've got to be sort of true to yourself. And you kind of helped me to be, encourage me to do that. So that's what I.
All right, motherfuckers who don't like me. All right. No.
That's all true. That's all true. He didn't pay me to say that. That's all true.
I love this tune. It's one of my favorites. I really love this tune because it's nice and stripped down. It's simple, but it's just such a beautiful song. Here we go.
Lie because I like it. Whisper in my ear. I don't care about the truth. It's not the truth I wanna hear. Tell me that you love me. I'm all you'll ever need. Fill me up with your lies. I wish I could believe.
Very nice tune. I love this tune. Simple line, like Nigel Tufnell says, simple lines intertwining. It's great. Is it about anybody in particular?
It's a. You know what? It was inspired by a Portuguese state saying, which is "lie because I like it," and it's basically about the idea that sometimes people want to believe a lie because it's more comfortable or about themselves or about someone else.
In your head, though, weren't you singing it to somebody?
Maybe a little bit, but not fully. I was trying to write about sort of an emotional sort of concept.
All right.
But yeah.
I want to see if I can get it.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
I'm going to see if I can get it to the solo because I like the solo. Here. Oh, back it up a little bit. Hold on a second. Okay. I want to hear the solo. It's a great solo.
I like what I hear. Lie to me. Lie to me. Lie to me. I like what I hear.
I guess it's not really the solo, but I guess it's the outro melodic guitar to the chorus.
Yeah, and it happens again in the outro. So it happens in the middle of the song and the outro. And when we were recording it, Keith, who is my adorable, lovely guitar player, said, should I do the same thing over? I mean, isn't that a bit naff? I said, you know what? That is such an awesome line that I think we should just do it again. It's really hooky. And I'm really glad we did because he actually had another solo that was much more sort of a little bit more kind of complicated.
So he played that solo, not you.
Yeah, no, he played that.
Good job, Keith. I like that solo.
Yeah, he's a pretty awesome guitar player.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
Next song is called "Close to Defeat," another catchy as hell tune. It has this song. This is the type of song structure that I love. It's a formula for a song structure. To me, is a can't miss. The way you do the song. You start off with a melodic guitar, one melodic guitar going, come in with some blasting power chords while the melodic guitar continues to do that melodic guitar part, and then go into the song.
Yeah, no, I have to say, I've got to give my drummer credit for that, Robin Guy, who is an amazing arranger. So I had, and he's just so funny. And I don't know if you saw him in my thank you video. He was in the hot tub.
Yes, I saw it.
So he actually arranged this one, and he's responsible for that arrangement. So thank you, Robin. Brilliant job.
All right, it's called "Close to Defeat." I'm gonna try to guess what this one's about. I'm feeling this is a point in my marriage that I'm really almost wanting to give up, but I'm not going to. I'm sticking around.
Wrong.
Okay, all right.
It's about, it's actually about me climbing back up on the saddle and doing another record.
All right. Well, there you go.
Well,
okay.
Right? So it's about me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
right?
sense because that's the beginning of the concept of the album. So this is when the
Yes.
concept of the album starts to happen.
This is when it starts to happen. And I actually, in the back of my mind, I'm going, you know what? There's got to be other rock and roll girls out there that have lived a rock and roll life and have tattoos, but also have kids and are trying to kind of hold on to their identity.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a record for them. And this is about me sort of being, it's hard, you know, it's been really, really tough to keep going and to keep going. But inside of me, there is this thing. And so when I say I'm close to defeat, but somehow the engine keeps turning over, somehow I still keep writing songs. It's like a miracle. And somehow, you know, it happens and I get the energy and it's, you know, and that's what it's about. And then, you know, when I say, you know, I'm in rags I've outgrown, it's kind of like I haven't actually gotten anywhere. I'm still wearing the rags of that sort of lifestyle. I've outgrown them. They're so tattered and torn. But I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give in.
Yeah.
And it's been a blessing and a curse. I carry an empty purse. I don't have any money from my music. I've never made money from my music.
So that's
But, you know,
that is when the concept of the album starts to happen, and that's when, to me, when the album takes a completely turn for the better. I mean, starts off with 3 decent songs, and then the album starts to fun. This is when I realize how much I love the record. All right, so that sets this up.
Okay, and this is Rich Jones singing backup vocals
Oh, yeah.
and also playing. He plays the solo on this one.
He just plays the guitar, just the lead solo, not the intro part.
No, he plays the lead solo, and he's also singing backup vocals with me on this one.
All right, Close to Defeat. Here.
Well, I've been here before. So many times I ain't keeping score. The heartbreak and the pain.
I want to say something if I can interrupt. When you go, I've been here before, that note is your trademark to me.
Oh, thank you.
Before, it's a total different melody turn that I think is fantastic. All right, enough ass kissing. Well, there'll be more ass kissing, but let's continue the song.
That's fine. Kiss away.
Coursing through my blood, coursing through my veins. Yeah, I've been here before. Each time I feel
Then back into the melodic guitar over the verse, which is great.
You think by now I give up the chase. When I'm close to defeat, the engine keeps turning over. When I'm low on belief, somehow keep crossing over. And here I stand with my heart in my hand. Here I stand close to defeat. I'm in rags.
I love this tune. This is my 3rd favorite song on the album. All right?
Thank you.
All right.
Well, this is one that I wrote just on my own, and it was just one of those songs that came to me, and I'm so grateful that it did. So,
A very catchy tune.
thank you.
All right. Because you said, here I stand with my heart in my hand, I thought maybe you swallowed your pride and came back to judgment. But now that you told me, I see it. And it even fits better in the concept. All right. The next song.
Yeah.
The next song is called "We Didn't Make It," which to me should be a country music hit. I don't know if you consider it country, but I think it should be sent to Nashville and maybe on that TV show Nashville. But there's another song on the album that should be actually on the TV show Nashville on the album. But
if you know anybody on that TV show, please feel free to send it to them.
All right, I don't, but
anybody out there?
Do you know
Alex? Really appreciate it.
Do you know Alex Kane?
No. Oh wait, yeah, I do.
Because he submits songs. He writes songs for that show. I don't know if any of his songs have ever been on the show, but he might know somebody.
I'm going to call him. I love that song, "Looking for a Place to Shine." Do you know that song?
Is that on the TV show?
That is on the TV show. It is a great song.
Who sings that one?
I don't know, like the main girl. I actually have never seen the show, which is ridiculous because I love Nashville and everything about Nashville. But I know that song, and I love that song. Anyway, sorry.
It's trash TV, but it's fun trash TV. I like it.
Yeah, I've got to start watching it.
My daughter and I that was appointment television for my daughter and me. Anyway.
Aww.
All right, who is this song about? The song is called "We Didn't."
Oh, come on.
The song.
Do I have to say?
"We Didn't Make It."
Yeah.
It's about. I don't tell me. It's maybe I don't know. Ex-boyfriend. Or it could be we didn't make, because we didn't make it could have a double meaning. It means we didn't make it big in music, or we didn't make it, like they said in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one, you're going to have to do some research.
It's about Ricky Backus.
Listen, it's all there, Michael.
Is it about Ricky Backus? Is it about Ricky Backus?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
I don't know any of your ex-boyfriends other than Ricky Backus. So.
Okay, well, you probably need to do a little bit more research because it's all there, and I'm going to give you a clue. If you connect the dots, if you can connect some dots, okay, in the verse after the first chorus, there's some stuff in there that will lead you possibly to who it's about, but I'm not going to say. You're going to have to find out for yourself.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to stop here. Okay, hold on. Okay, we didn't make it. We started from the beginning. All right. Now I got to play it through the first chorus and see if we can guess who it's about.
Hey boy, it's been a long time since I've seen you outside the window. Hey yeah, it's been a long time since I kissed you standing on my tiptoe.
All right, he's taller than you. That's one tip. All right. All right.
Hey man, you're the back of my hand. You're a narcissist, dead ringer. Nothing can save you now since I took the ring off my finger.
Ex-husband. It's about your husband. Wait a minute. You cheated on your husband. Of somebody that you met after your husband. Because you took the ring off your finger. But you know him like the back of your hand. But he's narcissist. All right, I'm going to let it keep going.
Where do we go from here? We didn't make it. We're living on worst fear. We didn't make it. But maybe we will someday. Now I'm living this life like a blue blood ringer. Think back to the back of your bike when I was a true police star.
Wait a minute. I got on the back of your bike. What are those lyrics?
Now I'm living this life like a blue blood gringa. Think back to the back of your bike when I was a true polista.
Somebody you were dating back in the punk rock days. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was Ricky Backus way back then. So
No.
Fuck. All right. Well, I can't guess. It doesn't.
You're going to have to do some research. It's all there. I promise you, it is all there on the internet, in the ether. It's all there.
All right. I will play this song again on another episode, and If I guess it, can I send you an email and tell you and ask you if it's who it was, and then you'll tell me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. A little bit more of the song, 'cause I love this tune.
Where do we go from here? We didn't make it. We're living our worst fear. We didn't make it. But maybe we will someday. Maybe we will someday.
Are you reminiscing and wishing you were back with this guy?
No.
Okay. But you'd rather be alone, is what you say. Actually, you're reminiscing and saying, thank God I'm not with this guy. I'd rather be alone than being with this guy. He's an asshole.
Kinda. I think it's a little bit of both, really. I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
Right.
But you know what? It's difficult because I'm married now, so I feel like, I mean, I guess it's,
Can't really say because you don't want to get in trouble with your husband.
Kinda. But it's also, the thing is, all of my songs are not, like, you can't take it so literally. It could be about that. It could be about me really thinking, maybe one day I will, people will understand what I'm about, and maybe I will make it, in this business or whatever,
So don't take it as maybe you'll get back with him someday.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try to guess. I love this tune. It is one of my favorite ones on the album. All right.
Thank you. And do you know what's so funny? When I brought this to the band, I went, this is what I said. Guys, you're not going to like this song because it's really country, but I'll play it to you anyway. And they all went, oh my God, we love it. And so So it almost didn't even get on because I just thought, oh God, this is going to be way too country for these guys,
Yeah, I think this is what I like about the album, the songs like this. All right. Next song is called Done It Proud. I'm going to try to guess now. All right.
Okay.
I wrote down some notes. See if I can read whatever. It's about wanting to get back to being a rock and roll musician and not being accepted among other wives. Yeah. So you go to school functions or whatever, and the wives are talking about you behind your back and going, "Oh, she's playing a punk rock band. Oh God, and the wives are kind of C-wordy behind your back.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, it's
and
that.
And you're saying,
yeah.
you bitches, I'm proud of what I've done, and F you, all of you phony ladies. You don't know what you're talking about, and I wish you'd stop talking about me behind my back, but you can all kiss my ass.
That's right.
There's one of my favorite, it's a great line. It's the best line it's not the best line on the entire album to me, but it's a great line. It's one of my best lines. There's a line at the end of the chorus that says, something, it's not word for word, but there must be so much more than this, than just a business with the kids.
Yeah.
Which is
in fact, this song was originally titled "Business with the Kids,"
which is a kind of you talking to your husband, saying, "All your friends' wives, they talk about me, but I'm telling you that I'm much better than all what your husband or what your friends." Wives are telling them, and they're telling you, I'm more than just a business. All right, you got it. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, are you getting that there's so much more to this than just the business with the kids?
This is the first fight. This is the fight.
Yeah, there's so much more to me than just being a mom.
Of the concept album, this is when you start fighting with your husband. The rock opera. All right, you start fighting with your husband. This is the song. This is the song in the rock opera where you and your husband fight.
But also, it's really important to note that I'm saying everything I've done it proud.
Yeah.
So I am.
So I'm not ashamed of anything I've done, and all those women talking about this shit about me, they can kiss my ass because I'm proud of it all.
That's right. And also, I actually think I love being a mother, and I have an amazing relationship with my kids, and we have the best time. So, it's not like I'm like, I've got these kids and I want to be, everything I have done in my life, I'm proud of. Everything. I hold myself to a high standard in my music and with the way I mother my children and my relationships. And
So
everything I've done it proud.
So I kind of hit the nail on the head with what
You have. Well done.
I love this tune. This is one of my favorites too. Here's Done It Proud. Done It Proud.
Well, I'm sorry that I haven't been around. Haven't had the time to get to town. But I'm looking at the scene and it's still going on without me.
I'm looking at the scene, all the clubs, there's bands doing all this shit. I want to be doing it. I miss it. I miss it. I'm so much more than just a mom. I'm a great mom, but I want to get out there and rock some more. So fuck you, ladies.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
And my name goes up in certain crowds. Lately I ain't been allowed. I don't wanna turn my world upside down. But everything I've done it proud. I've done it proud. I'm longing to find myself alone.
And I think that this song, when you're singing the lyrics, when you're recording it, I think it's coming truly from deep in your heart when you're belting the song out. I think you mean what you're saying here.
You keep saying it's never too late. And in my final campaign, wanna carry my own way. And my name goes up in certain crowds. But lately I ain't been allowed. Well, I don't wanna turn my world upside down. But everything I've done it proud. I've done it proud. I've done it proud, yeah. Oh, it's never too late. Oh, to find the purpose of my fate, yeah. And my name comes up in certain crowds. Lately I ain't been allowed. Well, I don't wanna turn my world upside down. But everything I've done it proud. I've done it proud. My name comes up in certain crowds. Lately I ain't been allowed. I don't wanna turn my world upside down. But everything I've done it proud. I've done it proud. I've done it proud. I've done it proud. You're getting like there's so much more to this than just the business with the kids.
All right, I let the entire song play because it's my second favorite song on the album. I love that tune. And it probably would be most people's least favorite. Or no, it won't be most people's least favorite. It's probably be most people's second to the least favorite, but it's my favorite song of the album.
Well, not many people have heard the record, so I'll be anxious to see. I'll be kind of looking forward to seeing what the reactions are, what people like.
I love that tune. All right, the next song is called Lock and Chain. I'm going to be wrong on my guess on this, but I'm guessing that this is a love song to your husband.
No, wrong.
I
It's
told you, I
not.
knew I was going to be
This-
wrong.
Well, I can see how you could think that, but it's actually another song about.
That same guy?
No, this one's about me being bound into my craft and what I am and the fact that it's all in the blood, right? And in a way, yes, it is. There is some of my husband in here, like the years have made us stronger as we go against the grain. That's definitely about him. But the second verse, when I say "Don't go gentle in the night," which is obviously a Dylan Thomas sort of, I've ripped off Dylan Thomas there. Sorry, I didn't actually credit.
It's an
him on
homage
this,
to. It's
but
an
anyway,
homage.
Great poet. If you don't know who that is. So don't go gentle in the night. The world can sense your fear, and though you're full of spite, you whisper in my ear. And then 20 years on, so that's been about 20 years since You're the Rat. The past is almost gone, but I'm calling out for you. So people like you, Michael, and everyone that's kind of known who I am. And my searchlight is this song. So with this song, I'm kind of going, hey, I'm back. And I'm bound to this forever, like a lock and chain. and you'll never put out this flame. It's never going to go out. So that's what this one's about.
All right, a little bit of Lock and Chain.
Heaven must have known I was born in hell. You took me from my home, saved me from myself, and I no longer fear the etching of the years that fall upon my face, a mark of saving grace. We've been around the block, and we wear our lock and chain, and we're one in a million who can ever stake that claim. The years have made us stronger as we go against the grain. You can't break our lock and chain. You can't break our lock and chain. Don't put
All right, that's a great tune.
Thanks.
That's actually-
And we actually, it was, I kind of had to fight about that one because actually Keith came up with the chords for that. And I came up with the melody, and he was like, "Oh, it's so laid back. I don't know about it. You know, it's a bit." And I was like, "No, it's gonna work."
Yeah, it's
And I'm really glad that I stuck to my guns about it, because I really like that it's a little bit of a laid back kind of soft vocal. You know.
a little bit Chrissy Hind-ish, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
But I like that tune too. That's one of my favorites on the record. All right, the next song is called "Don't Wait Till Tomorrow." I'm going to guess again. This was your kind of sing. In my fantasy of this concept album, this is you talking to your kids.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. "Don't Wait for Tomorrow." Another good tune. I'm going to play it through the first chorus, then I'm going to get it to the 2-minute mark of the song. Okay.
Okay.
Little bit of similar to a New York Loose tune.
It comes without warning when it's the last time you make your way home, last time I sing you the song. It marches on.
Do you ever pick up your guitar and sing to your kids?
Not really. They don't really. No, I don't.
Okay.
Don't wait for tomorrow. You don't know what you could lose. Today will never come back to you. They never said goodbye that day he left for school. So proud of their only son. Last thing he saw was the end of a gun. Don't wait for tomorrow.
I like this. Actually, I like this one as probably a little bit better than I like them all. More and more I hear about them, I like them all. Enough Kissing. I'm going to get it. Enough
Yeah.
Ass Kissing. I'm going to get it to this part of the song that I really like. Let me see here. Okay, let it roll.
You can look at a photograph, but you can never go back. So don't waste your time like you wasted you.
All right, this part coming up.
Oh, oh, oh,
First of all, what instrument is that? The whistle.
Oh, it's a theremin.
Oh, it is. It sounds fantastic. I love that.
Thank you. That was another Keith Gibbs co-wrote this song with me, and that was his idea. So well done, Keith.
Good job,
Brilliant,
Keith.
yeah.
Good job, Keith.
Good job, Keith.
You did well, friend. All right. He's not a friend, but maybe someday. All right. The next song is called "Fight for Me." The style reminds me a little bit of Social Distortion, especially the guitar solo. which to me is a good thing. I don't know if you're a Social Distortion fan. I'm not a huge Social Distortion fan, but I like them fine. This song, that style reminds me a little of Social Distortion. Who's this song about?
Oh, okay. So this song is from the perspective of a vulnerable person. I wrote this song. I wanted to write because like I said, I'm very much sort of in touch with the natural world these days, and I wanted to write a song where I really referenced nature. That was my first idea. I want to write a rock song that references nature. That was the challenge. When I started writing it, the refugee crisis was all over the news, and I understood that I kind of started getting that the refugees that were kind of doing all of that traveling on foot to get to Europe and in boats were actually very much in touch with the natural world. I mean, they're living outside, and they were vulnerable, and they need help. And it's especially from the perspective of a child, from a war-torn country that actually really does need someone to fight for them. And no matter what your political views are on this whole mess, the fact that there are children involved, to me, it just breaks my heart. And actually, that's what this song is about.
Right, here's what I think the song is about. All right. I imagine this song about you being at the end of your rope, ready to call it quits again in your marriage and in all this bullshit. Not saying that your marriage is bullshit, but in everything. And right before you cash it all in, you're fantasizing about being somewhere other than where you are now in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it is. It's about the person that needs help fantasizing about being somewhere else in their life. It could be about me fantasizing about somewhere else in my life. Yeah.
I think I hit the nail on the head, but you gave in case your husband's listening to this. But,
oh, please.
This song is called Fight.
You're so funny.
This song is called Fight for Me. It's a great tune too, by the way. All right.
Thank you.
I'm like a fallen tree, holding on till the end. And when the storm collapses me, I gotta find my only friend. I'm like a fire on the beach.
Yeah, the reason I say it's like Social Distortion, not like a particular Social Distortion song. It's the same style. It's a similar style because that guy would take one riff. He would repeat that riff.
Yeah.
And he would make a good song out of it.
Yeah, it is. It's completely one chord progression through the entire song, even the chorus. So it's almost like With or Without You from U2 or, that kind of thing. It's just one thing going over. And again, I just wanted something really simple to tell the story.
Yeah. So that's the Social Distortion connection.
Yeah, okay.
Burning on a bed of ash, the tide washes over me. Nothing's meant to last till I think about you, dream about you, and I wonder if you're somewhere out there, and would you fight for me, fight for me? I wonder if you're somewhere out there, and would you fight for me, fight for me?
Are you out there? Listen, when all your friends, wives and girlfriends tell them about me, how they don't like, why don't you fight for me, damn it? All right, I'm probably wrong.
No.
So if you see how my fantasy of what this concept album is, why I think it's such a fantastic album. In my fantasy of this concept, it's just a beautiful record.
Thank you.
I want to get into the solo because I love the solo. Is it your guitar, the Keith guy playing solo?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. I passed it up. Let me back it up. Yeah, great tune. I'll bet you, ask Keith, I don't know if you guys ever talked, ask him if he's a Mike Ness fan. I'll bet he is.
Oh yeah, in fact, Richie, our bass player, is huge. Like that. Yeah, this song is very Social Distortion.
That solo is just like.
But
Mike.
It also sounds like Another Girl, Another Planet. If you really listen to it.
I don't know that song. Who does that one?
It's a really obscure song. Oh God.
What's the band? Who does it? Is it Johnny Thunders?
Another Girl, Another Planet. It's oh my God, so many people have covered it. It is originally.
Oh, Blink 182 did. I think.
Yeah, Blink 182 did
sorry.
it. But
the only ones, a pop punk, power pop band.
It's the only ones. Yeah. Sorry, I knew that. It's the only ones. Yeah.
All right, next.
So they're a brilliant band. Anyway, if you have definitely kind of go.
The only ones are a great band. They had a hit that I really love. All right, the next song is called "Hot Child in the City." You calling it "Hot Child" on the album? It's a Nick Gilder tune. It's the only cover on the record. By the way, I told you in private that Mike Chapman. If I could have him produce any record I was on, it'd be Mike Chapman that would produce it. I think the guy's a genius. At least he was a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so cool that you know this song because here in England, funny enough, ironically, it wasn't a huge hit. Even though that guy is English, Nick Gilder's English.
Yeah, Nick Gilder was part of Mike Chapman's writing team, along with that girl who wrote, what's her name, Holly Knight. I think she was part of Mike Chapman's writing team. And Nick Gilder, this was actually a fairly big radio hit in the United States, and it's a great tune. I'm actually in a cover band that plays this tune, and it always brings down the house. The girls especially love this tune. I like this tune, and it's funny you say not many people know of it. It's well known to me.
Here, I mean, in the UK, it's not that many people know it.
When you listen to the beginning, I'm going to play the beginning bass part here because it starts off with the bass and drums. That part is different than the original. Was that on purpose, or has he never heard the original?
Yeah, these guys, they didn't even really know the original. They only heard it like a couple of times, okay. and that was really cool because I wanted to try I didn't really want to copy the original, you know?
Yeah, because the bass part, that sometimes can work really well when you're covering a song. And it works well on this song. But the reason I'm asking is because that bass part on the original song is actually an integral part of the song, but his bass part is not anything like the original song. All right, why am I asking you that? I don't know. All right, more Hot Child.
Danger in the shape of something wild.
I'm guessing if there's such a thing as radio out there, I don't know if there's radio in London. Or this might get some airplay because it's a cover and it's a fairly obscure cover, but. And you sing it you sing it a lot like Nick Gilder sings it.
I love his voice.
He's a way underrated singer, singer. All right, back more of this.
I don't know where she came from or what her game is. Hot child in the city. Hot child in the city. Running wild.
Who's playing the piano part?
Richie, the bass player.
Okay.
Loose and on her own. Young boys, they all want to take her home. When she goes downtown, the boys all stop and stare. When she goes downtown, she walks like she just don't care. Yeah.
All right, and this song kind of fits in with the concept of the album concept.
Yeah, it does. But also, I want to say that, like, when I was a teenager, I used to roller skate to this music, to this song.
Yeah.
I used to roller skate to this, and I used to roller skate to I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick.
Very nice. Yeah.
And, I mean, just picture the scene. Me, Brijitte West, 13 years old, at the roller rink.
1970, whatever. That would
what,
be.
yeah, whatever. Let's not even. But, yeah. And I have to say, it just when I heard that song, it just sunk into my bones or something like that. I don't know. This song, people are like, oh, you're so punk rock. Oh, you're so into the Pistols and you're in the Ramones and the. Actually, this song, Hot Child in the City, probably influenced me more than any of these songs, any of these bands. You know, this type of music, this sort of like really tight, poppy, rocky kind of.
I totally agree with you, and I used to roller skate to the same exact song, so I know exactly what you're saying.
So we were roller skating on two different sides of the country, but we may have actually been roller skating at the very same time. Picture that.
Could have been.
Could have been. Could have happened.
A lot of people back then. A lot of people's youth grew up at the skating rink.
Right, I know. I used to love going roller skating, and I love ice skating. I still go ice skating now. I take my kids every winter. We go ice skating in the ice rinks.
We called it. I never danced on roller skates, but they called it rubber legging back then. I don't know if that's what they called it. It's what they called it.
Oh yeah, I know. I never heard that before.
All right, this brings us to the last song and my favorite song in the album, "Fire Brigade."
Wow, this is your favorite one.
It's my favorite song in the album. I fucking love this tune. I think this is probably the most. Here's back into my fantasy of this concept album. This song is probably your most personal song you've ever written to date. This is about, in the concept, you're giving up. You're ready to give it up. You tried your best to save the marriage, but it's no use. You packed your bags. You're going to leave it all behind. And you're walking away into the sunset. This song should be a country hit. In a perfect world, this would be a smash country hit.
Please, let's like from your mouth to God's ears, Michael Butler.
All right.
Now, I have to say that I have felt this way in my marriage before, and this is what I was able to draw upon that. But I actually went on a writing weekend with a girlfriend of mine who is a writer. She writes books. And we actually went and we stayed in this sort of like this really crazy little hut right on the beach in the middle of winter. And we wrote. And that's all we did. So I wrote Typical Drunken Loser there. I wrote a lot of this record there because I needed to get away for the weekend, get out of the, I have a dog, I have cats, I have kids, I have, lots of stuff going on. And so I just needed to get away. Anyway, so she told me the story of her marriage. And I wrote the song about her. And from the perspective of, it always fascinated me when you have the fire department at the fire and you know that the house is gone. It's burnt down. It's burning down. You can't save it. But still, they're out there with their hoses trying to put out the fire. And I don't know, it kind of fascinated me. Like, what's going through your mind right now? You know that the thing is over. You know you can't save this house, but you're still there, out there. So, yeah, so that's kind of what the analogy is.
And these are my favorite lyrics on the album, too. It's such a great tune. And I think it's the perfect closer to this album. It's a perfect closer to the concept, too, to my imaginary concept that this album is, which I don't think is too far off.
No, it's not, actually. You're quite right in a lot of cases.
All right, so the last song in the album, Fire Brigade, and I'm going to let this song play out through the rest of this episode. Is that all right?
Oh, of course it is, yeah. I hope everyone likes it.
I'm going to let this song roll out, and then when it's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds into it, I'll say goodbye to you, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Fire Brigade. Perfect closure. An album should close with a song like this, introspective, whatever you call it. It's a perfect album closer. Any album that closes like this is always one of my albums that I really love.
I've been waiting forever. Now it's time to go. sand, dragging me below. I've been on an island, living without sun, but I can't stay here anymore. I've learned not to turn and run. I'm on the fire brigade, watching the house go down in flames, knowing that it's too late and I'm all burned out, all burned out on you. We drink muddy water, 'cause there's nothing else. The dead space in our mattress is like hollow.
There you go, friends. If you are listening to this, I hope this track by track gave you a sense of how brilliant Brijitte West and how great of her talent really is. And thank you, Brijitte, for coming on Rock and Roll.
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate it.
The record's out after September the 1st. You can get it on iTunes, Amazon, hopefully all the platforms that you like to use. And yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I really appreciate you coming on. And friends, if you buy this album, which I don't see how you could not, please let her know you heard about her on the Rock and Roll Geek Show so she didn't waste her entire Sunday night on my show. Well, Brijitte,
and actually, you can still pledge for it
Yes,
as well
please.
on the pledge page.
there'll be
So
links at
that'd be awesome.
rockandrollgeek.com, and I will link to also to Bridgette's Facebook. I'll link to the
Great.
Desperate Hopefuls Facebook. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on, Brijitte. I really appreciate it. It was an
Thank
honor.
you very much.
Okay, I will talk. Let the song roll out first.
Can't hold on, giving over to my doubts about you.
All right, Brijitte. Thanks a lot again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. It was such fun. Thanks, Michael.
I really do love the record a lot. There you go. The great Brijitte West. We'll talk to you next time, friends. Thank you, everybody who donated. Find this show at rockandrollgeek.com. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. Find me on Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. We'll talk to you next time.
It's a Rock and Roll Geek train wreck.